I am a very stylish girl.
Hey everybody, TheTribalButterfly back again. If you remember, last week I started answering a series of questions from Fangirl96. She asked me a lot of questions, so I didn't get through all of them. And no, I'm not going to do the other ones right now. I mean, I said I'm doing it next month, and I will. But there were some questions in last week's video that I couldn't think of answers for, and that really bothered me because I really do try to answer all your questions, and I didn't like that I didn't have answers for some of those questions, so I really strained my brain and tried to come up with some answers. I'm afraid the answers I've come up with are actually kind of depressing answers. They're not really all that entertaining, but I really don't want to not answer some questions. The answers to these questions will probably make you not like me. And it's not like I avoided them last week because I didn't want to answer them because the answers are bad. It's just I honestly didn't think of the answers then. You may very much lose your opinion of me once you hear the answers to the questions. So here we go, and in this week's video I will be trying to answer the questions that I missed from last week. The first question that I missed last week from Fangirl7 was something you said you wouldn't do but did. So one thing that I always said I wouldn't do and then I did was I had a boyfriend once who I cheated on. I know you hate me, right? But let me tell you my side of it. First off, I didn't cheat on him hardcore. I didn't ever do anybody unless I was fully in a relationship with that person and not attached to anyone else. So there was no doing, okay? Just a little bit of kissing, that was it. That was it. Just a little bit, too. It still constitutes as cheating. And I know you probably think cheating is bad, you know, you shouldn't cheat, that makes you a horrible person, how dare you. But speaking as someone who has both been cheated on and has cheated on someone, I have to tell you it's not actually that black and white. And I know there's a lot of you out there who have been cheated on who, you know, are really hurt. But I should let you know, people who cheat on other people, it actually is really painful for them too. The reason why I cheated was because I was really feeling a lack of what I needed in the relationship I was in, the person I was with. I didn't really feel that they appreciated me anymore. I didn't feel any romance, any passion, anything from them. I was just honestly starving for attention, and I was starving for that feeling again that somebody was really in love with me, and I wasn't getting it from my partner, which is really sad. So when this other person came along, it really wasn't them that I loved. It was the feelings that they let me have again, that feeling of having somebody excited to see me and, you know, really wanting to be with me, and, you know, they were enjoying like kissing more than the person who I was with. So stuff like that was really what drove me to do it. And it's not an excuse. I mean, it doesn't make it right, but I mean, in the end, I wouldn't have cheated if I was getting from my partner the things that I was telling them I needed and they weren't giving me. So, and I know if you don't want to be with that person anymore, break up with them before you start dating this other person, but it's not that easy. It's very complicated. It's not black and white like everybody seems to think it is, but that was one thing, was I never thought I would ever cheat, especially since I was cheated on in the past. But, you know, I mean, never say never, because you don't know what life's gonna throw you, and you never know what you're capable of. So sorry if y'all hate me now. The second question that Fangirl27 asked me that I couldn't think of an answer for at the time was, what's the craziest thing you have ever done with clothes on? Back when I was younger, 18 or 19, I didn't get to go out that often when I lived at home with my mom. She didn't really like it when I went out too much, also because I didn't drive, so it was kind of an inconvenience to her to take me places, so I don't really blame her, but whatever. The point is, I didn't get to go out that often, so I didn't really get to date that much when I was a teenager. And because I didn't get to leave the house that much, I would spend a lot of time online. So I would, you know, go into chat rooms and talk to people. And my mom knew a little bit that I was doing that. She didn't like it at all. But, you know, I mean, what can you do? You can't stop your kid from everything. So one thing I promised her was that I would never meet anybody who I met in one of those rooms. And I actually did a couple of times. And I would meet, like, the craziest people, like ridiculously crazy. I remember there was this one guy I met who I actually dated for a short period of time. He was freaking weird. He thought he was a dog. I used to have to like walk him down the street on a leash. He used to like howl and bark at people. But he did backflips and kept buying me chocolate milk, so I thought this was a great relationship at the time. Oh, it didn't last long. It was only 2 weeks. I was so dumb. I would meet people who I had only met on the internet, and a lot of the times they were crazy people, so that was a stupid thing to do, and I do not at all approve of any of you doing it. I mean, it's one of the reasons why, not the main reason, but it's one of the reasons why I'm really anti-online relationships, so I hope you guys don't do it, because it's not safe, and it really doesn't compare to being in a real relationship where you can see each other and hold each other and kiss each other and cuddle. You know, I mean, nothing will compare to that, but if for no other reason, just because it's super not safe. You never know who you're talking to. You never know how honest they are. Even when you think you do, you don't. So just be safe. That's all I want you guys to do. I wasn't being safe. That was really stupid of me and really crazy. And yeah, I will never ever do that again. The last question that Fangirl96 asked me that I couldn't answer last week because I couldn't think of an answer was, what is your darkest secret? When I was younger, about 13 or so, up until that point, we lived in a really bad neighborhood. Like, I'm talking really bad. Like, I lived in the ghetto. I didn't realize that it was that bad because I had grown up there, and I didn't know any better. My mom decided, you know what, this is a really bad neighborhood. Even the building we're living in is falling down around us, so we should move. So my mom and my dad decided they were going to move to a really nice neighborhood. I was just completely distraught. I was so upset because I was leaving everything that I had known. I was leaving my home. I was leaving my friends, and it was devastating. I got really depressed, like really, really depressed. Not a lot of people know this. It actually got so bad that I was really entertaining thoughts of suicide. I thought of everything, you know. I thought of pills. I thought of stabbing myself with a kitchen knife. I thought of jumping off of our balcony because we lived 7 stories up. The only thing that ever stopped me was thinking how unbelievably distraught it would make my mother, and just the thought of her crying over my being dead, and just the thought that she would blame herself, that she would rationalize it as if I didn't force her to move, she would still be here. And I could not for the life of me bear the thought of my mom being that sad, and her feeling that way and her thinking those thoughts, and it would be my fault. I decided that I wouldn't kill myself, obviously, and I stuck around. I was so miserable, like I can't even tell you, I was so miserable, but I stuck around for them. I'll admit that to this day, every once in a while, I'll get those feelings again, and I'll get depressed, and it'll just come out of the blue, and I don't know how to one day get rid of it altogether. I wish I could, but although I'm usually a pretty happy, upbeat person, every once in a while I'll get the feelings again where I'm really sad and I, you know, think about it. But still, to this day, the thought of what that would do to my mom and what it would do to the people around me who do love me, and you guys, you know, can you imagine if my video stopped? You guys would freak. So yeah, nobody knows actually that I still get those feelings to this day, but you combat them, right? You push them back and you try to think of positive things and you try to be optimistic, and you know, I mean, you can't let stuff like that get you down. So yeah, those are the 3 answers to the 3 questions that I could not think of answers for last week. I'm so sorry I didn't answer them last week, but hey, you got another video out of it, so way to go, Fangirl96. Thanks a lot, you guys. Sorry if I gave you a totally depressing video, and I'm sorry if you hate me now for the answers to those questions, but hey, I try to answer everything, so it's your own fault for asking. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week, hopefully with more positive and upbeat video. Okay, and bye!
I am a very stylish girl.